Here we go. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Yin yoga time. I've got my computer a little lower because I'm gonna, we're gonna be on the ground for 99% of the time. Okay, so those of you who had Thursday Zoom with me know that I had to do some stuff to make my mic better. And I tested it. I fixed things and tested it, so it should be good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit where I'll be sitting. And I'm going to talk at this level. Ooh, the shadows are kind of, I think we're okay. Here, let's get this maybe better if I close. Oh, I know. Forgot to turn my light on. Yeah, it's a little earlier than usual for us. There we go. Okay, so I'm talking right here. And if I use this volume, now remember, you can turn up your speakers on your end. If I use this volume, can everyone hear me? Oh, good, Patrick. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. I tested it last night. I put my husband on the computer in the basement and he said it sounded fine. And he said, mics are only so good when you turn away from them, you get a little lower, but he could still hear me. But I won't typically be turning away from you today. So welcome. I want to see who's here. Okay, I want to see who's here. Hey, Laura, Elizabeth, Fern, Shelley, Karen, Patrick, Jim. I know that's not Jim. I think that's Mary. Oh, I don't know who that is. Leanne, hey, and Mary, gonna get a coffee soon. And who else? Sherry, hi. Carol, Andrea, Linda, welcome. Okay. First of all, see what I have back here? I have 2 bed pillows, 2 kind of couch-like pillows, and a blanket that is foldable. Okay, you can have 2 pillows, but 4 is really good because all of these poses are going to be all about puffing up around you to be comfortable. So if you can grab a couple more pillows, fine. If you have 2 big ones and you feel like you'll be happy with that, fine. Also, this is slow stuff. We're not going to get heated up like we do during flow. So put some socks on. I have double layers because my husband sleeps till really late and I don't turn the heat up so he doesn't wake up. So I'm at 61 here. So I really got a lot of stuff on. So get really comfy because you're not going to get heated up like you do during flow. Also, the record, if you look on the bottom of your screen slightly to the right, you'll see that there is a recording button. It's square. You can press that. I've opened recording so you can record on your own and, record this to your computer. I guess that's about it. Okay, you can record, wear socks, have enough pillows. That's it. Okay. I know it feels like it's almost winter, but we are technically autumn. And this is an autumn yin yoga flow. Well, I'm not going to say flow. It's not really a vinyasa flow style. But still, we're always kind of flowy. Most of the leaves have dropped. Okay. There still are some clinging. And this is the time of year for letting go, okay? As you know, I always talk about how we are really more connected with nature than we think. I know as people, we feel like we control nature. Well, take a look at some natural disasters and see what happens there. So we really are part of the rhythms of nature. And that is why in autumn, when the plants begin to let go, and fold down back into the earth, Remember, the roots are still under there, getting super nourished. In fact, as a gardener, I know the best time to fertilize for root growth is fall, because that's when the root growth happens. So most of the energy goes dark and deep, okay, with the plants and with us in autumn. So this is all going to be about releasing. So when you're in these poses, you can kind of think of them as almost mini meditations for letting go. And whatever comes to you comes to you. And if it's not something specific that comes to you, just have a feeling of releasing into the pose. I read something recently, and I think I may have put this in the first email that I sent asking people if they're interested in yin. And it goes like this, something like this. It's actually by a guy who's a really famous yin yoga person. His name is Bernie Clark. We don't use our body to get into the poses. We use the poses to get into our bodies, okay? That's what yin yoga is all about. So it's all about really feeling your body and feeling these poses and finding deep, deep comfort in these poses. I think most of the challenge in yin yoga comes from the patience that's required, because we hold these poses for 2 to 3 minutes. I'll keep that timed, and I'll let you know before how long we're holding it. 2 and some of them 3 minutes. So let's begin. Okay, my recording's on. Remember, if you want to record, press your recording on. And if for some reason your recording doesn't work out, just send me an email and I'll send you a recording. As long as you have a Gmail account or a Google account, I can share it with you. Okay, and then of course we're going to do our typical, we're going to do about an hour, and then till about 11, and then from 11 to 11:15, 11:30, this stuff gets kind of loose time-wise with me, but then we're going to do a really nice, deep, guided relaxation. And it is also going to be about letting go, specifically about letting go of something. And I'm not going to tell you what, because I just want you to be present in this part of the practice first with our asanas. Okay, so let's start. So coming onto you don't have to have a mat for yin. I have a mat just to keep the lint and stuff from my carpet off of me. Oh, okay. So some people are popping up. I'm going to mute everyone so that doesn't happen. So I'm going to mute everyone right now. I'm muting everyone. You can certainly unmute yourself at the end of class if you want to talk to me, but for now you're muted. All right. So we're going to come in seated pose. Now, in yin yoga, it's all about support, okay? So rather than just sitting in our regular seated pose with our sitting bones pressed into the ground, we're going to take a pillow or your blanket and put them underneath your hips. Okay, why did I get a down pillow that mushes into nothing? Okay, I'm going to use these. And I'm actually going to take 2, okay? Because I want my hips to be super propped. Because then when you have your hips super propped, your legs can just drop forward more easily. And it's more easy also to find a straight spine when your hips are propped. So get some pillows or your blanket underneath your hips. And simply close your eyes and breathe. We're going to stay here for 3 minutes. So let this be a time where you get grounded. Okay, by grounded, I mean coming into your body and the feelings of your body. Remember, it's really about complete relaxation. Finding stillness within the pose. No effort, very little effort. As you're breathing, you may find that the body slightly shifts, right? You're not a statue, you're not concrete. So there's that little bit of movement that the body makes. Always looking for center, always looking for stability. That's normal. For those of you who want to use a Ujjayi breath in this, you can do that. Breathing in through the nose, mouth open, hugging the breath as it comes out, and a little ha feeling as if you're steaming up a mirror as you exhale. And as with any meditative type practice like Yin Yoga is, as the body stills, you'll become more aware of your mind, your thoughts and feelings. Simply notice them, go back to your breath, back to your body. All right. And now we're going to go to butterfly pose. So take the pillows out from underneath you. Okay, open your legs. Okay, so soles of the feet are either touching or facing each other. Okay, knees are open to the side. Okay, now some people's knees will be way up here, fine. Some people's knees will be where mine are, or some will even be closer to the ground. This stuff doesn't matter, okay? The main thing is I really want you to be aware of your sitting bones and feel them. Okay, now take some pillows. Okay, this is where my poofy pillows come in really handy. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're simply going to come forward slowly. Feel the lower back opening as you come down. Draw your belly back and just round over your pillows, dropping your forehead into the pillows. Now keep stacking more pillows as you need them. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. Now really keep your arms open to the side with your elbows bent, because for this one, you can really open your back body with your spine nice and curved over your pillows. So dropping your exhales down toward the earth is very beneficial if you're going with the theme of release. So every time you exhale, it's like you're dropping the leaves down toward the earth, what you don't need anymore. Okay? And that you don't have to name that. You don't have to name what you don't need. You're just letting it go. You may even visualize the leaves falling. Okay. And as you come into those edges of impatience, right? And as you start going maybe into your mind with some comments or judgments, fine. But I invite you to bring it back to your body and actually using the time to deepen your release. Okay, we're really getting the body used to being stretched open. We're changing the muscle memory. All right, coming back up slowly. So you always want to come out of this slowly. The thing about yin yoga is you're really opening the joints. Okay, so this is doing something very different than flow yoga does. Like these joints are open, they're getting oiled, if you will. So really come out of it slowly. All right, out of each of these slowly. Okay, now seated pose here. Now with this one, we're going to go into Janurasana with the one leg to the side. Now listen, if you feel like you want to put a thin pillow or blanket under your hips here, you can. Okay, I prefer not to because I really like to get a lot of stretch in the lower back from this one. Let's start with our left leg straight. Now make sure you get that leg coming straight out from your hip, okay? So one of the problems people make in yoga in general, but especially in yin yoga, is not paying enough attention to setting up the architecture before you release into the pose. So architecture is for the left thigh bone to be coming straight out from the hip, and then putting the right leg to the side. Okay, now bed pillows are nice for this one because you can put it across the whole top of your leg, right? The long side of the pillow, but the other pillows will work too. Okay, so again, nice and comfy. We're gonna do 2 minutes per side here. So you're just gonna slowly, you just kind of roll right over that leg onto those pillows with your torso. And remember, arms, shoulders, you put the arm bones wherever it feels good in the shoulders. You just let them drop. And of course, anytime you're uncomfortable with having your face into a pillow, okay, some people don't like that feeling, you can turn your head to one side, rest the ear into the pillow. And slowly releasing from there. Other side. So just put those pillows to the side so you can actually see where your legs are, especially where that right thigh bone comes out of the hip. Okay, now stack those pillows on your right leg this time. So you may have noticed already that by holding the pose for a long period of time enables you to really feel the part of the body that's getting the stretch. So what I invite you to do, instead of just quickly noting that and then moving away from it with your mind, is to observe that part of your body, to go deeper into it. That's going to afford a better release. So here we go. Other side. Come on down. Just roll into it. All right, and then slowly coming up from there. Okay, swinging your legs around. And we're going to come to standing pose. This is the only pose that's standing, okay? But it's a really nice release because, okay, well, you can't really see my head now, but you don't really need to. Okay, so we're standing with our legs at least hip distance apart. Okay, I'm gonna go sideways. That'll probably show you better. And then what you wanna do is you wanna bend the knees, just really a slight bend in the knees. And then you wanna roll your body forward. So just keep those knees bent. Let the arm bones be heavy. Drop way down. And then you have an option here. You can either let your arms just drop, or you can bend the elbows and grab the elbows and just let your head drop here. Okay? So here's one that's really a nice release toward the earth. Feeling the gravity. Starting for 2 minutes right here. Okay, and you'll notice that the arms keep feeling heavier. Let them drop. So as the body relaxes, you really feel yourself dropping closer to the earth. And slowly releasing from that and coming back down. All right, now we're going to go onto our backs. Oops, that's my timer. Okay, I'm going to go onto our backs. So just gently roll onto your back. Now, for those of you who want a little neck support, you can place a pillow, a flatter type pillow under your head, or roll something up for under your neck. If you're not using a neck pillow, just make sure your chin is tucked down to your chest. Okay, so the knees are up, and all you're going to do is you're going to gently place your hands over your shins. Now, it's not like class where we press down. You're not using the arm muscles at all. In fact, if anything, you're just using the weight of the arms, right? The weight of the arms is expressed in the hands, in the shins. Okay, right here, 3 minutes. Now, as you're on your back here, I invite you to spread open your back with every exhale. Just soften your lower back more completely with every exhale. And if you have any tension in the shoulders, let that go. In fact, if you cannot get rid of shoulders and the tension, if you can't get rid of the tension in the shoulders, maybe drop your arms down to the sides with the palms up, letting go of the shins. And here you can release through the back, down to the earth. All right, so remember, we release and we let go of all this stuff to make room for the new things that come to us, right? So we're just clearing the house here. You're clearing your mind and your body, right? Just like nature does, just let go of the spring and the summer. Okay, and release into the autumn. Okay, now what you're going to want to do, stay on your back, unless you have to get up to grab a pillow or two. Just grab a pillow or two and place them on your right side. Okay. Now, you're going to adjust this. So you may take a pillow away. You may even take both pillows away and bring your arms in a nice T position. Now, remember, in a T position, you really want the shoulders to be relaxed. So make sure that the elbows are slightly bent, the palms are up, and that the arm bones are slightly beneath the shoulder joints, not above. All right, now bring the knees a little closer to your chest and then drop them to the right side. Adjust those pillows so that the pillows can take the weight of your legs. Okay, I just got rid of one pillow because that was a little too high for me. All right. And then once you get cozy in that pillow with your legs, just kind of put the legs where you want. You might want to take the knees up a bit or away from your arm a bit. All right. Get nice and comfortable in this twist. And we're going to stay here for 2 minutes. So remember, each pose is like a mini meditation, a mini body meditation, right? Using the asana, using the pose to get into your body, to feel your body. So in Yin Yoga, you also use the pose to find this place of quiet and calm deep in the body. So there's a deep surrender that's given to you as an opportunity within each of these poses. Now, very slowly, bring your legs back to center. I don't care how you do it. And switch the pillow or pillows to the other side. And then once you have your spine straightened, you can rock back and forth along your lower back and kind of move your hips toward the bottom of your mat to elongate your spine so you get a fuller twist for the other side. So here we go. Soften the shoulders. Slowly drop the legs, left side this time. Adjust everything so it's comfortable, right? So you're looking for a place where you can rest your body within the pose. Now notice if you're holding your legs up a bit, okay? If you're kind of slightly lifting them, it's a really subtle thing. Really drop the weight of your legs. And if you can't drop them, maybe you need another pillow or a few layers of a blanket under there. And then, of course, the breath gives the pose so much more, right? It really gives it a really three-dimensional feeling. And then gently bringing your knees back to center, hugging your knees into your chest here, just getting everything nice and straight You've twisted the spine to your right and to your left. And then cross at the ankles and come up. Okay, so this one requires some setup, but it is so well worth it. Okay, we're going to do a modified fish pose here. So what you want is you want something. This is why I said you want a blanket that you can roll so that it's at least 6 inches, like jelly roll style. So you want it to be at least 6 inches so that it supports your back, because this is going to go up and down your spine. Now listen, if you don't want to roll your blanket, try playing with pillows, especially if you have bed pillows, and kind of getting them into this nice long piece. Okay, so you want this long piece for your spine. So what part of the spine? The entire spine. So you want to come from the top where the neck is, slightly below the neck, to your lower back. And that's where this jelly roll is going to go. Then you're going to take a pillow, a flat pillow, and put it at the top, because that's where your head's going to drop. Okay, now to get on this thing, you want to start with your butt on the ground at the bottom of the jelly roll and kind of come up. And then kind of get yourself up enough so that your head can drop into the pillow. Okay, now there's a few things we can, this is a huge heart opener and front body opener. This is really, really good for your body, okay? Also the shoulders, because they drop, extremely good for the shoulders. Now, depending on what this feels like down below at your legs, okay, if you feel like you want to come down a little bit so that your lower back can curve over the end of the jelly roll, go for it. If you feel better with your lower back right up on the jelly roll, go for it. It's up to you. A few things you can do with your legs. You can either take your feet out to the sides of your mat or to the sides and drop your knees together. Or you can open your legs, like I know Patrick's going to do, foot to foot, sole to foot to sole foot, and then you're really getting this huge groin opener with the knees to the sides. Or you can straighten your legs, or you can bend them. Okay, so just get comfy here. Now, the main thing is those arms are open, palms are up, and I want you to really feel like this jelly roll underneath you is just kind of cracking open your front body, like just opening everything up. Okay, and we're going to do 3 minutes here. Now, if during the course of this 3 minutes, you ever feel like you need to readjust because of the lower back not feeling quite right, go ahead and do that and just melt into it again. Really let your shoulders drop open, down toward the ground. Now notice if you're holding any tightness in your chest. And if you are, this is a really good position to let that go. All right, and then slowly, be careful here, okay? You've been here for a while, so just bring the knees together if you have them apart. Roll to the side off your jelly roll. And move it over. Right? So you've just got this little place, like this little stage with all your props. So you just keep moving them side to side. That's what Yin's all about. Okay, now back to your back again, on your back again. A nice straight spine here. Legs up to the ceiling, take them apart so that you can make a little V shape here. And then we're gonna bring our arms to the insides of our legs, bend the elbows, grab the bottoms of our feet, draw them down. Keep your lower back connected to the earth. Now I want you to get your shoulders and arms really comfortable here. So we're gonna do a happy baby pose for 2 minutes. Now, it looks easy, but to really have the groin and the inner thighs opening for 2 minutes, well, you'll see. I shouldn't say that it's not easy, but it's an interesting thing to do. And then you're not going to use the muscles of your arms like you normally do. Again, you just want those arms to drop heavily. Again, keep your lower back on the ground. Try not to lift it up. Chin to the chest. So when you're here, you can really channel in that feeling of being nice and open to the groin, the inner thighs, like that happy baby. All right, releasing from happy baby. Now we're gonna reorient here. Reorientate. Okay, whatever. We're gonna come belly down. And we're gonna go into our favorite crocodile pose. And we're gonna do this for about 2 to 3 minutes here, about 2.5. So feet are toed in, front body facing the earth, palms are stacked. And you know, we do this in flow, and you know that it's a very restorative pose. All these poses we do in Yin are called restorative. We're restoring. So here we go. All right, and then slowly releasing. Okay, and now we're going to do a supported Sphinx pose. So if you're still on the ground, you can stay there if you can grab a pillow from here, pillow or two. And what you want to do is you want to tuck these under your body, like between your kind of like right above your belly button to your chest. Okay, so one or two pillows here. And then elbows are directly under your shoulders. And then just keep the hands nice and relaxed. If you do intertwine the fingers, keep them really loose, okay? Because you don't want anything in the body that's going to create tension. All right, and then we're going to hold Sphinx pose here for 3 minutes. And if you want to, you can put a big fluffy pillow on the top and actually drop your head into it. Just make sure those shoulders are over. You can even take that pillow and scrunch it up into a big ball under you. And again, you can turn your head to the side if that feels better. So with your body in this position, you can use this to release the lower back. Okay, this is a pose for the lower back. And to release it even more deeply, just bring that breath to your belly, expand the belly with your breath very deliberately, and then you can stretch and open your lower back with that type of breathing. So with the inflation of your belly, you can almost feel it like a big balloon underneath you. With that inflation and that growing of the balloon, you're stretching open the lower back. And when you exhale, you soften the lower back. So it's an extension, an opening, and a softening, that kind of dance. All right, now keep those pillows where they're at. Lift up into table pose. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the melting heart pose. So you come into table pose with these pillows underneath you. Keep your belly pulled up here. Okay, and then just bend your elbows back to drop your heart and your chest into the pillows. Keep your hips lifted here. And we're only going to do this for a minute. Now, with the arms, you can bring your arms forward like you would in child's pose. Or out to the side, it's up to you. Now really let those shoulders relax here. And let the heart drop down deeper with every exhale. Okay, now lifting up from here, turning your pillows so that they're long way if they're your bed pillows. Otherwise, just keeping those square ones underneath you. Now, we're going to do a child's pose. So come into table with those pillows underneath you. Press your hips back. Drop your tailbone down. Okay, now take those pillows, get them even closer. You could even get them up onto your thighs or in front of your knees. Because what I want you to do is I want you to just melt over the pillows and melt into a really nice child's pose. Remember, your shoulders should be relaxed. So those arms could be to the sides with the palms up, okay? Or they could be to the sides with the elbows nice and bent. Or they could come forward, but never straight, right? You always want a good bend in the elbows. Okay, and here we go, 2 minutes here. And again, if you don't like your face in the pillow, turn it to one side. Try to switch sides. Don't always turn it to the same side if possible. And slowly coming up and releasing from that. Okay, now let's get into a frog's pose. So keep your pillows where they are and come over them into table pose. And then bring one leg out to the side and straighten the other leg. And then just press that other leg back behind you. Okay, so get those pillows underneath your torso. So one leg is bent to the side, the other leg is straight. And then you just get those pillows tucked under you really nicely and then come on down. Head can be to the side or straight. And we're going to do 3 minutes here. Really release into that inner thigh of the bent leg. Change my mind. We're going to do 2 minutes on this leg. Sorry about that. Looking at the clock here. Yeah, so feel that nice release, not only in the inner thigh and in the hip, but also in the groin. All right, so place your palms under your shoulders to lift, and then get that left knee in or whatever knee was to the side. Come back into a table pose. Take the other leg out to the side, straighten the other leg, and then just kind of slide that bent knee out to the side as much as you can. So you just feel that opening in the inner thigh and the groin, and then just roll down here. And we'll do 2 minutes on this side. And slowly coming out, bringing the knees back in, finding table pose again, getting those pillows underneath you. Okay, starting in table, we're going to end with a nice child's pose. So curl your tail under. We're coming down to child's again. Bring your hips back. By the way, I forgot to say, some people like to put a pillow in the back here so that they can really rest. You know what? If you can't get your hips all the way down to your heels in child's pose, do that. Put a pillow back there because it's going to allow you to totally release the hips. And then you get those other pillows underneath you. You can even put 2 pillows underneath there in the back. And then just, this is all customized for your body. So use your props. And then come here into a nice deep child's pose for 2 more minutes. All right. And then you can slowly start making your way out of child's pose. And then get yourself really nice and comfortable on your back. Okay. I'm going to move into Shavasana here. Remember, you've got everything you need here for a comfy Shavasana. You can place a little pillow under your head, just not too high, okay? Because you want your neck to be, just have a nice curve in the back of your neck. So in Shavasana, it's all about getting the body in a position where it can really find a deep comfort. Put a blanket over you. So just move into your comfortable place. Okay, so some of you already know that when I do like the Shavasana, the guided, relaxation things, I just do whatever comes to me on that particular day. But for these special pop-up yin yogas, the seasonal ones especially, I really kind of I put some thought into it. Okay. I kind of do some kind of premeditated stuff. And today's is going to be about release, right? We're talking about releasing this time of year. And this is going to be about releasing resentments. Okay, so hopefully you're interested in that. And if you're not, you can just go in Shavasana and just kind of, maybe pick up a little bit of what I'm saying and use some of it or not use some of it. But most of us have resentments, okay? And resentment is a really heavy thing to carry around. There was one, it was really cute. There was this lady who was even older than I am, and she was doing this little resentment meditation, releasing resentment. And she said resentment is like holding on to a really, really hot, like a really hot, a painfully hot cup of liquid. And you're just grabbing it and it hurts and it feels terrible and you're just not going to let it go. And, that's kind of how resentment is. It's kind of the simmering hot, heavy feeling within you that kind of rises up every once in a while. Resentment is really, so by the way, you're just in Shavasana, just kind of listening before we get into this. But the way that I understand resentment is anger. And anger is a really wonderful emotion. It's part of our emotional palette. It's something that we can use to make change. And, anger is not a bad thing. But when anger is not channeled into change or channeled into something positive, it becomes this, underlying kind of simmering thing, this resentment. Now, the thing about resentment is that we're blaming usually someone else for this anger, or a situation for this anger. We're really not taking this and making it a useful thing. And of course, we've heard it again and again. Resentment is a poison for us, right? We're kind of expecting that other person to maybe apologize or, maybe the situation to never have happened to us. But we're putting ourselves in this place where we're just not letting it go. It just simmers and it grows and it's just robbing us from the present and from the spaciousness and openness that we can live our life in. And like I said, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I definitely have resentments, and it's really a valuable thing to try to really release those resentments. So let's do that today. So we're going to drop the burden. We're going to drop the resentment. We're going to let those leaves fall off of our trees. Okay, in order for us to grow new leaves when the season is ripe and to free ourselves from the burden of resentment. All right. So just rest where you are and release where you are here and now. Releasing anything, resentment, fear, whatever it is all about being present, not holding on. So simply feel your body breathing and enjoy your body relaxing. That's all. All right. So we're given a choice, okay? And the choice is that we can cope with our hurt and our pain by holding on to the resentment, which means blaming someone or something for this resentment. And we can hang on to it like a grip, like a vice, like we can just grab it. Because if we do that, we don't have to look at ourselves, right? And it kind of gets rid of some of the anger and the pain and the hurt temporarily, because it's not my fault. I'm not to blame. Okay. Or we can kind of just shift our perspective, realizing that we get to choose our own thoughts, right? We get to choose them. So just imagine that you have this big bin full of items. Let's say they're little soft squishy balls, okay, that you can hold in your hand and squish. Okay, those are all your thoughts. Okay, and you've got a lot of thoughts. Well, right here and now, you get to choose. You get to choose to pick up the thought that you are responsible. You are responsible for your resentments. You are the one who is choosing the thought that this person or thing is responsible for your hurt and your pain. Okay? Okay, so you get to choose the thought, like, I will keep a grudge. Or you can grab another ball and say, I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for this because I'm choosing to hang on to it tightly. Right? So in the moment when it happened, it certainly wasn't your doing. But now holding on to it is your doing completely. And how good does it feel to be in control and hang on to that squishy ball that says that now you get to choose. So when you shift responsibility back to yourselves, back to you, you are in the present moment, and you get to focus on what you need. And you also get to adjust what you expect. Okay? So if you feel like you need to rid yourself of the burden of resentment, okay, then you also release the expectation of the apology coming your way or the situation in the past changing somehow. Okay? You get to change the story. You get to change your story. And now you have the opportunity of making it about you and what you need. And if you need your inner peace, and if you need to accept yourself fully, and if you need to be strong and move ahead, then you accept the fact that the mistakes that others have made at a particular moment in time possibly were not even meant to hurt you. Or if they were a mistake made by that person who may not even realize the extent of that mistake. So you can even go as far as forgiving, or maybe just short of forgiving, understanding that a mistake was made. Just like you make mistakes and you may have hurt others unintentionally or intentionally at a particular moment in time. But right now, you can choose to release that resentment and take care of yourself. So, the most important relationship you have in your life is your relationship with yourself. And that relationship is completely and fully under your control. In fact, it's the only one you have full control of. So, at the end of the day, you're going to have to live in your body with your feelings and with your emotions. And you get to decide how much time and space you allow resentment into your life. That's under your control. If you decide to take on that responsibility and shed your resentment, so let it go up in flames. Release it and feel the freedom in that release. And now just rest. Let your body breathe deeply and fully. Let the prana flow. Feel your belly rise and fall as you breathe. Feel the life within you. Feel the gift of your life. Okay, none of us are perfect. And as a good friend of mine said, the imperfections in life are what make it interesting. And you take everything that's imperfect and you realize that that's just how it is, and you do with it what you choose to do. And so you can forgive yourself and others for their imperfections. You can accept these imperfections. And when someone is cruel and unkind to you and hurts you, you can step away, wish them well, and take care of yourself. Sure, you can hang on to it for a while and lick your wounds and let the healing happen, right? We're not robots. But then once you're done licking your wounds, letting things heal, move forward, release resentment. Life is for growing and life is for learning. Life is for love. All right, so just let your body settle. Let your mind relax. Gently begin to awaken from Shavasana. And then gently roll to one side. Slowly come to seated pose. All right, so we're right back where we started, seated pose. You can prop some pillows underneath your sitting bones if that feels better. Okay, and even though this is your last pose of the practice, be in this pose. Feel the length and the strength of your spine, connecting you from earth to heaven above. Feeling an openness across your chest at your heart center, warmth and love there. Feel a nice, clear and open feeling through the mind. And arms up to the sides, palms up, inhale overhead, stretch. Namaste Mudra, bring it to your heart. And namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Oh, evening, weekend, a nice day. And I'll see some of you on Tuesday or Thursday or both.
Great class, Laura. Thank you.
You're welcome.